This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weight. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Happy Wednesday, Jason Walker Show, hanging out inside the man cave. Did a little snow blowing today, a little shoveling. Tired of the snow. Man. It's like the never-ending winter right now. Now, of course, we still have 5 more days of winter. So, no complaining. Good day today. You can watch on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, listen on Podbean, Network One Sports. Go to jasonwalkershow.com for anything. Our Twitter handle at jwalkersports. Our email, jason@jasonwalkershow.com. And big show today coming up. We're going to talk to Flint Rasmussen. Well, actually, Flint Rasmussen's going to talk with us. So he'll join us, talk about his retirement from the PBR, high school hoops, coaches. It's going to be fun checking in with Flint on the way. Also, Gatorade Montana Basketball Player of the Year has been announced. We'll update you on Frontier Conference teams in action at the NAI tournament and much more. The Walk-Up brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. 3 distinct divisions so you can create the log home of your dreams and your budget. Milled, handcrafted in timber frame. Check them out, yourcustomlog.com, to get started today. So earlier this morning, well, it was late last night in Montana, but it was early this morning in Iowa, and the Montana Western girls advancing to the quarterfinals of the NAI National Tournament out at Sioux City with an 89-79 win over Dort, the defenders. It was scheduled to start at 8 Iowa time. I guess that's 7 here. I had my times wrong. But anyway, there was a leak in the ceiling of the Tyson Event Center before the Western game and before the game before that. So Western tipped off at 10:30 in Iowa and got the big win. Shot 80%, missed 4 shots in the second half, and got the win to advance off to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2019. Western started last week out at Park City, Kansas in the first 2 rounds. Did not come home. Went right to Iowa, and it continues. Brinley Fitzgerald, 22 points. Jordan Sweeney, who transferred from Idaho State, had 24 and hit 5 threes. So great game by the Western women, and now head off to the quarterfinals today. And that game will be played, well, tonight, I guess. What time is tip-off there in Iowa? 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 Iowa time. Montana Tech men in action right now in the quarterfinals. Trailed 30-29 to Ottawa University of Arizona at the half, down 38-31 right now, 16.5 to play. So, keep you updated on that. Good luck to the Tech men in action as well. Bobcats heading off to Greensboro, North Carolina. Montana State will play Friday night, 7:40 Mountain Time, 9:40 in the East, against Kansas State. Let's see here. What else did we see before we get to Flint Rasmussen? Raekwon Battle earning all district honors. MSUB golf women 7th in a tournament yesterday. Rocky Rocky Skiing, we talked about it last week, did awesome. Came away with the national championship. And congratulations. Lionel Martin Jr., starting guard for the Grizzlies, enters the transfer portal. So, let's see here. I think that's about it that we wanted to really, really focus on and hit on before we get to Flint Rasmussen. Now, when we have Flint on, it's always a short first segment and short last segment because Flint likes to chat. And Flint is great. Finally got him on the show after announcing his retirement about 2 months ago. Billings coming up, PBR, in about a month in April. Hoping we can make it down there. But we will talk to Flint. We've got the Montana Gatorade Player of the Year. We'll update you on Montana Tech and much more when we come back. Jason Walker Show. Walk Up, presented by Montana Custom Log Homes. 50 years experience, finest craftsmen available in the state, probably in the West. 15 different floor plans. They're veteran-owned, family-owned, woman-owned, and operated. You can go in with your own floor plan. You can get one of their floor plans. You can combine floor plans. They're awesome. Montana Custom Log Homes. Check them out, yourcustomlog.com today. Flint Rasmussen, the great, when we come back. Hang on.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting, as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Summer. A time to work in the yard and get all those projects that you've been thinking about all winter done. And when you've had enough, go to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar to cool off, relax, laugh a little or a lot, your choice, have a drink and play your favorite games. There's plenty of new games and your old favorites. Now, if you don't want to work hard and the relaxing part sounds the best to you, then just head over to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar on Dredge behind Jade Restaurant. Happy summer, everyone.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
I'm Bobby Houck, head football coach of the Montana Grizzlies. And this summer at the Montana Pro Football Hall of Fame, we're doing more than celebrating Montana's best. On Saturday, June 24th at the Billings Hotel and Convention Center, there will be a Speak Up Student-Athlete Mental Health Symposium from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Prominent figures throughout Montana, such as Jim O'Day and Tommy Malott, will offer discussion and collaboration on how to better the mental health of our student-athletes. After 3 Hall of Famers spoke about their own mental health last year, it's become apparent that we prioritize this topic at the Montana Pro Football Hall of Fame. Please join us on Saturday, June 24th, and for more information, go to the website mtfootballhof.com.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
That is a live look at Kansas City, Missouri via EarthCam, where the Montana Tech men in action against Ottawa University of Arizona in the quarterfinals of the NAI National Championship. You're trying to point with the arrow. It's a little windy there in Kansas City today. Gosh, I love being there. Let's see. One of the big hotels. So right to the left of the screen, about 3/4 of the way up, that is about the area where Municipal Auditorium is. Right? Yeah. Great place to go. Kansas City, Missouri. Home of Harry Truman, by the way. Missouri. The Show Me State. All right. Let's get to it. We've waited 2 months for him. We don't know when we'll get him next. He's a busy guy heading into retirement from the PBR, the entertainer extraordinaire. His name is Flint Rasmussen, and he joins us now here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, I've been working on this guy, trying to get him to come on the show for about 3 months. He's always so busy, and then he announces retirement. Well, he didn't. Sean Gleason, the CEO, did. Still wouldn't come on the show. Finally, basketball's done. Here is Flint Rasmussen. How are you, my friend?
You know, I put you off as long as I could, Walker. Right?
I know. Hey, you're not the first.
Hey, listen, I did get your message right after the big announcement was made. I knew eventually I'd come on. It's been a little overwhelming, as you can imagine. It's overwhelming, maybe good, humbling good, but overwhelming also in weird, lots of requests and lots of putting up with a lot of things. I mean, that's not a poor me. It's what a thing. But yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a real lot.
Well, I was like, okay, a week later he's on TV stations down in Billings. It's like, come on, dude, just call me. Send me a text at least.
Listen, when the Godfather, Chris Byers, wants you to come to the studio, you just got to do it.
That is true.
He'll put his tough guys out on you, his wise guys on you, and he'll send Scott Breen after you and Spencer and all those guys. They'll come after you.
It's
so
true.
You got to do it.
It is true. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Decision behind it. I knew you'd been thinking about it for a while, but why now?
I kept looking ahead. I guess what it came down to is I looked ahead 1 year from now and went, can I see myself emotionally and physically still doing this job at 56 years old? And I just couldn't. My body, and this has been, it's funny how, I've had some aches and pains and stuff, but in about the last year and a half, like I've had one knee kind of going bad pain, and I don't like pain very well. And some other things. I used to, at the end of a show, be really tired. Now I just hurt With that affects your mental game to really want to go out there and do it. So I also caught myself standing in a tunnel, looking out at an arena with 12,000 people and going, ugh. And I know that's hard for people to believe, because I think I have made my job look easy for all these years in a sense. That's not a bragging thing, but I have people say, you make it look easy. And with that, if it looks easy, that takes a lot of work. And I think I'm just tired. There's a lot of old rodeo clowns that go till they're 65, 70 years old. And I'm not taking away from what they do, but most of them have some sort of, well, after the bareback riding, I'm going to tell this joke. And then it's telling jokes. Like, people come to me with jokes. Well, I don't tell jokes. And you know that. Yeah. It's always been, I have a few things that I know I want to do, but I walk out with an open mind going, okay, I look at the crowd and go, what are you going to give me tonight? And so it is a constant, it's a lot of ad lib stuff. And I'm honestly, I see comedians step aside for a while or step away. And I think your brain just gets tired. I'm not in that frame of mind as much anymore. And I think I'm still very good at my job. But it does physically, there's some things. Yes, I have some pain, but also there's a little danger factor when physically, that first step up on the fence, the balance, different things I've noticed. So I'm just kind of ready to move on, I guess, do something else. Love my job still. When I'll tell you, the favorite part of my day is probably when, we've had record crowds. Every PBR stop this winter, we've had record crowds. You can go through whatever the explanation is for that. I think we put on the best. I think we're the standard for a live arena show in the entire Western sports world as far as entertainment value. So I think that's it. But record crowds everywhere. So that has made it a really great season so far. We're about to get into a big grind with a lot of performances, but I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, I don't like it anymore. This sucks. I'm getting out of here. It's just, it feels like work, and it feels like my brain and my body want to do something else. And like I said, I just can't see me keeping going. So
you mentioned something there, Flint, that resonates with a lot of people, I think, who do what you do, what we do, if you don't get excited, it's time to get done. And artists say that all the time on stage. It's like, I'm not excited to play tonight. Well, then it's radio. I'm not excited to go do my show today. It's time.
Right. My job is to create, fill dead spots, create excitement, create fun, create happiness, however you define my job. It's in essence, my energy and my happiness and my excitement carries over to the crowd, and they in turn give it back to us. I guess it's a good way to define it. If I'm digging that hard for it, which I've caught myself doing that admittedly, then, it's not right. We've all seen videos of the old rock bands and people going, holy crap, they called it in today. Yep. Geez, they acted like they didn't even want to be there. They probably aren't really getting joy out of it. Now, the old bands that really do, you can tell. There's a lot of them. Hey, everybody needs to make a living. I don't know that everybody that is on TV or in the spotlight or making music or whatever maybe has as much money as people think. So, they need to make a living, but you can tell. And I don't want people to be able to tell that.
Yep.
And so yeah, I'll tell you what's been really hard. And this is not, to me, it's a big change. It's been an emotional thing. It's been hard to imagine not doing this. I don't think it's really sunk in yet. It's the only job my daughters know me to have. That's how they know me. So that's a big change for me. And for my employer, the PBR, it's a marketing opportunity. And that's been hard, there's days I tell them, listen, I know you're trying to sell tickets here, and I get it. That's just business. But that's been a hard thing to be the object of something that is a promotion. And for me, it's kind of hard. You got to balance that. Okay, I'm all in with helping the company, but it's also a hard thing for me. So that's been kind of tough.
So why did you announce in February instead of waiting until the end of the season? Did you want the Jeter farewell tour?
Honestly, I think, honestly, there's a little bit, not so much for me, but I have, especially coming up now, in these next few weeks, we go to New Orleans this weekend. I fly tomorrow. We haven't been to New Orleans for years. Am I looking forward to New Orleans? Nobody from New Orleans is watching this, so I'll say not really. I don't really have an emotional connection. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't have an emotional connection to that market. There'll be great fans there, and it'll be great. But then after that, we go Albuquerque, Sioux Falls, Nampa, Idaho, Billings, and then the Seattle area, Everett and Tacoma. Every one of those markets has an emotional meaning to me. Albuquerque, I've been going to the Albuquerque PBR since 1996. David Allen from here in Billings that helps me with my podcast stuff. He hired me there. I missed 1 year, and it was the year I had a heart attack couple weeks before. Billings, of course. I wanted the chance for people to know this is the last time I'll be here. I didn't think it was fair to do. And the PBR, I got to be true to them and give them an opportunity to do that. We haven't made a huge deal out of it. A couple of places, I want a chance to tip my hat and wave to the people that have paid my bills all these years and that have appreciated me. So yeah, plus I've got in my room over there, I got some great basketball jerseys so far with my name on the back. Milwaukee Bucks last week, man. Got a Bucks jersey. I got a where else? Sacramento Kings. I got a awesome football game jersey from the University of Oregon. I mean, I just wanted some swag, man.
There you go. There you go.
That's all.
Hey, you're just like me. I mean, I don't know if I can find the right camera angle, but you're kind of in the corner there.
Yeah.
That's you. Whoa, hey. Yeah, the Flint Rasmussen Cooper tires, that's going to be. That's right. I wonder what I could get on eBay for that now.
Yeah, there you go.
No, because I waited 20 years to get some from Flint.
You are right, though. I wanted a chance. And a part of me wanted feedback from those good markets. Mm-hmm. It feels good to have people come to me and tell me. I've heard a lot of cool stories about, hey, we saw you first in wherever, and people coming in and thanking me with stories of, hey, I got one. Last night I saw a comment that I was going through depression and went to a PBR, and it was the first time I'd laughed in a while, and that means a lot. I don't take that lightly. So yeah.
We're talking with retiring PBR entertainer Flint Rasmussen. You're all the PBR's ever known. What are they going to do?
There's a kind of a plan there.
Okay.
And you know what? I even hesitate with retiring. I'm transitioning because I can't retire.
No, that's true. Because you are going to go into the booth. You got to.
So in the fall, PBR has that team series. It's a 10-week stop or 10-week tour. I am committed next fall to do their Ride Pass, their streaming network, and CBS Sports, some sideline commentating, color commentary. So yes, I am doing that. Then I'll see where I am a year from now. Either see how the fall goes with TV. There's some opportunities in production with the PBR and some talent coordinating. Do I want to go out on my own and take a chance, in the Western sports world? We'll see, but I do have to keep working. Tales of my income with the PBR have been greatly exaggerated for the most part. It's been funny to watch, but so yeah, I'm 55. I got to keep working.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So.
The kids aren't to the point where they can raise you yet.
Man, not yet. I got to get, Paige. Shelby does have kind of a job. Paige wants to go to medical school. Yeah, not quite yet.
You got like 6 more years of school to pay off still.
Paige is a grinder. She'll pay it off somehow. She'll figure it out.
We're talking with Flint Rasmussen. See, I changed it to transitioning, and that to me in this day and age just looks like something different. You're transitioning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I know. Everybody's saying, "Oh my God, are you excited for your next thing?" And I'm like, I'm really afraid that now I'm really going to have to work. Man, now I got to have a real job.
I was a teacher. I was a rodeo clown. I was an entertainer. Now I got to go to work.
Yeah. Now what? Now, so I'm just ready for my brain to work different. I haven't really had a chance to focus on it because I'm still going.
Yeah.
And I'm also, I have my podcast is going strong. Our numbers are really great. I do some episodes for another deal. So, being in front of a camera and a microphone, I'm comfortable there. So there's some opportunities there. We'll see. I'll take your job,
Well, you started your podcast. You basically did. My numbers went, and by the way, people in New Orleans do listen to this show. I'm heard in 50 states and 54 countries. So,
damn it. So, well, I apologize.
That's all right. They just won't tune in today. I'll warn them. You got the Montana State gear on, which I love. You got the Montana Western pullover shirt. Big win last night for the 2019 champions. Yeah.
Who else could pull this off? I did this on purpose, of course. You got the Bobcats coming up this week. You got the Western Lady Bulldogs going strong at Nationals. You got to represent everything. By the way, Jason, I have had a few people on social media because social media is our outlet. The big question I always have is, has social media revealed jerks or created jerks? That's the big question. So I've had people jump me on social media saying, why are you portraying yourself as an MSU alum when really you're not? No, I'm a proud Western Bulldog, and you know that.
Yep.
But I come from a family of Bobcats. Both my parents, my sister, my former wife was a Bobcat rodeo team member, both of my girls. So we're Bobcats. But I'm a Western Montana College grad. My diploma is right on that wall, just to remind everybody.
Yes.
With honors.
Wow.
As a matter of fact.
Wow.
By the way, I do want to say, I spoke at a social fundraiser event at Western a few weeks ago. It was just a month ago. My friend Roxanne England is the head of the foundation there, who's married to Kevin England, who we went to college together. And they are raising capital for all of these initiatives on that campus. That, for a little school and affordability, they got some cool stuff going on in Dillon, Montana. About to break ground on an on-campus football stadium.
I know, which is
one
needed.
of the things. So
yes.
Anyway, good stuff going on in Dillon.
Hey, Dillon's a great town. I actually had a coach tell me one time, I said, how do you recruit to Dillon? He goes, well, you recruit the kids that come here for 3 reasons. They want to drink, they want to fish and hunt, and they want to have a lot of sex.
Ooh, I didn't hit all those.
So you didn't fish and hunt.
I don't know. I'll tell you, you know how I describe Western? If there's a kid, now this isn't all kids, but if there's a kid out there going, I don't know, I think I want to go to college, but I just don't know if I want to. Dillon is a home for Western is a home for them with the block scheduling and student one, what's it called? They get kids out in the field, not just in the classroom. It's a cool place. Yeah, I had a ball there. We had a great group of kids and we had fun at Dillon.
See, I knew you were coming on today, so I know you went to school there with my uncle for probably 6 weeks till he flunked out. But I got the Excite Baits hat, his company down there in Dallas. So he's killing it in the bait company. He He is a master bait guy.
Oh, nice. And then, hey, at the C tournament the other day, who did I meet? It would have been Dwayne.
My dad.
Yeah, was it your dad?
Yeah.
That I met the other day at the C tournament?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there
Small
you go.
world.
It is.
By the way, talking sports, I had a chance. My old college roommate, Barry Malone, has been at Seiko forever.
Yep.
30 years. So I met him and went and watched the Seiko Hinsdale Whitewater, the North Country Maverick girls team. Holy cow.
My dad said, and Rocky Erickson said it, they might be the best Class C team ever.
I watched them the first night and then wasn't able to watch them again. I just caught them during the week at the opening night. They got an Erickson girl that's 6'2", 6'3", was almost kind of half dunking in warm-ups. Little guards. There's TJ Wasson's daughter. Listen, and they're pretty young. That's as fun a girls team, especially for a C team that I've seen. They were impressive. I don't think anybody scored over 26 points on them.
They didn't. They gave up 76 points in 3 games total. That's like 8 points a quarter or something.
Yeah, it was great. They were fun to watch. I love the C tournament. There's a real good feel. There's something about small town. I got to watch Big Sandy play. Big Sandy played Luster Christian. I watched the Twin Bridges girls play Roy Winifred. It's just fun, and you always know somebody. I love that tournament.
Roy Winifred had a girl. They stopped in Providence at the B divisionals to warm up, and I swear she was 6'7". My dad says she's only like 6'3", but she's good, athletic.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think she's a smooth 6'4".
Yeah,
for sure. Good player. She was bringing the ball up the floor.
Yep, great player. Yeah.
Good player. Where'd they stop?
Providence. That's CBT. Yeah.
Sorry, I can't say it.
College behind target. I love it.
College behind target, man.
Well, it's a university now, so you got to go university behind target.
Oh, UBT.
UBT.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah.
That sounds better.
We're talking with Flint Rasmussen here. Speaking of basketball tournaments, what is your favorite time of the year in sports? Is it November when you have all the football playoffs and basketball starting? Or is it this time of the year when a month of basketball followed by, and I don't know if you're a baseball guy, but spring training is starting in the majors. So, and the weather's warming up.
I love football. I just love football. But I also will drive across Billings to the other end of town to the Metro or First Interstate Arena, whatever, and just pay and walk into a high school basketball tournament by myself because I love high school basketball tournaments. Now I'll watch college basketball starting this week. I stayed up late and watched a couple Bobcat games from the Big Sky tournament, but this is the only time of year I watch any college basketball.
Yeah.
I think college basketball has a bit of an identity crisis. It's nice when it's tournament time. I just love the smell and the feel of tournaments. I love spring training, but I just really love football. I love everything about it. I love the game. I love the chess matches. I love the spirit. I love tailgating, whatever. So, yeah, the only thing about football is it's also, it's the start of winter, and I like winter less all the time. So
I'm with you.
Don't forget, I'll tell you one other thing. Don't get lost in the shuffle of this. Another thing that I will just go watch randomly is state track meets. Love track. So,
well, you did coach it a little bit.
Yeah. Still have the school record in the long jump at Shoto High. Let's not forget that.
I did not know that. That's
right.
Okay.
My daughter Paige and I are on the track record board in Shoto High School.
How many does she have, though?
Well, they have the record in the 400 relay. They actually have the state B record in the girls 400 relay.
Oh, so they got the B and the C.
They're just B.
Oh, B, C, and track, yeah.
Yeah, they're just B.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. They are just B.
Yeah.
Shoto just keep producing the athletes.
Yeah, right.
There was a few.
Big announcement. Booked a big show yesterday. I'm the commencement speaker at Shoto High.
Ooh.
Yeah, booked that one yesterday.
You're sliding into Rocky Erickson territory. You know, Rocky does commencements from the top to the bottom of the state. I don't know how he does it, but you're breaking into my territory with podcasting. Rocky with commencements. Jeez.
I used to do a few. I used to do a couple a year, and I haven't in a while because of my schedule. But yeah, Rocky, the Vita Flash, old Rocky Erickson. I wish I could do a better Rocky Erickson imitation. But can you? What is Rocky Erickson at a high school graduation? How does that go? Like, congratulations, graduates. Welcome to the next stage of your life. Is that a good Rocky Erickson?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. We're talking with Flint Rasmussen. Okay, so we got some high school stuff out of the way. But it's always a great time. I love, being involved back in the Frontier and covering that with Providence has been great. The student athletes, to me, and I don't know if this is how it is with you with crowds, but the student athletes and the families are, to me, what it's all about. And telling those stories, which has been awesome. But what are you going to miss the most? Is that it, the fans? Because riders come and go.
You know, my brother Will described what people in our business have to me, and I use it. I stole it from him. The people in the entertainment world, other people don't understand because they don't have what we do. We have this place right here in our chest. It's kind of a big hole. And it's filled by the joy people give back to you in a direct, and it happens directly. It happens in the moment, and it fills you up, and that's what brings you joy and keeps you going. I will miss that. And I worry about it sometimes, honestly, that means more. I feel a little bit like I have grown from it, that I don't need it as much, and I don't think I do as much, but I worry that's going to be a thing. How can you not? I have people all the time say, will you miss it? Like you asked what I'll miss, but some people, will you miss it? Well, hell yeah, I'll miss it. I've been doing it for 30 years, it's been my only source of income since about 1996, so yeah, I'll miss it. It's what you'll miss and how to replace that. But yeah, I'm 55 years old and I get to be in a locker room and I get to be introduced in basically a starting lineup. Mm-hmm. What 55-year-old person still gets to do that? And there's nothing like when the lights are out and you've been back in that tunnel where it's quiet, walking through that barrier where the energy from the crowd and it just fills you up and you say, hell yeah, here we go. Yep. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot to it. And when an athlete is trying to retire and can't get themselves to retire and people make fun of them, Brett Favre went through it.
Tom Brady.
Those people have never spent as much time in a locker room with that team as much as those people or somebody like me has. They don't understand. So, chastise those people all you want, but there's more to it than you know. That's a culture that I'm closer and spend more time with the guys I work with than my own family. And so that's hard. Mm-hmm. There's something about a locker room. Matter of fact, I told the bullfighters, I share a locker room with the bullfighters, and then the announcers, production people come and share our locker room in all these arenas. And I told them what I want to do is I want to be in the locker room. We got one guy that makes really good coffee. Everybody has a role, I want to get ready and get all dressed. And then they go work and I'll just get dressed again and go home. Just hang out in the locker room. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's, Tom Brady dealt with it for sure. He blew up his family to play one more year. But no, it's hard to get away from things you love. It really is.
Yeah. It's, when it's a culture, when it's just so much a part of you. And that's, I probably went 10 years longer than I ever thought I would doing this. And like I said, I still think I'm very good at it, but there's a lot when you look at it, you go, okay, what am I going to do for a living otherwise? And also, how do I replace this feeling? you know.
Go back to being a teacher.
Oof. Man, listen. I don't know that I'm not sure I could do that. It's kind of a different world. I can find easier ways to make $30,000 a year. I think that's maybe an exaggeration, but yeah. No, thank you. I appreciate that, but I would have to go back to school to be a teacher again. And no,
you could go be a sub. My dad's a sub in Park City and Laurel. He just goes and subs a couple days a week.
Really? Yeah. Is that where the big money is, Jason?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I remember people I taught with at one time going, do you know that our subs make $100 a day? Holy cow, I'm going to quit teaching and just be a sub. I'm like, holy cow, you are a teacher and your math is that terrible? Like, oh my God.
Good stuff.
I do remember taking the NTE. You know, you go and take the National Teachers Exam. Like, I remember going to campus in Dillon, and as huge as Dillon had, the big classroom that we all had to sit and take that test. And then people are like, this is going to sound terrible, but they said, oh my God, I'm nervous. Are you nervous? I said, no. How come? I said, have you seen some of our friends that became teachers?
If you can last 4 years in Dillon and still become a teacher, you're good. You're successful.
Exactly.
So did you teach Dustin Kraske, the Havre girls coach?
Dustin Kraske was never in a class of mine, but he was there.
Okay.
When I was there, but that kid, I still call him a kid. What a great program he's built at Havre.
Yes.
And you know, their enrollment, like a lot of schools out east, you know, everybody thinks of Bozeman and Billings is growing and Missoula and the Bitterroot. You know, my former wife, Katie, graduated from Havre High, and they were AA then, 1,100 kids in the high school. When I taught at Havre in the early 90s, there was over 800 kids, and they're like everybody else. They're down around 400 kids. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they're dominating in enrollment, you know, but he has, you know, the Havre girls, they were playing 3 freshmen and a few sophomores, and he's got kids convinced in a good way that they just need to play basketball all the time.
Yep.
And he's a good guy. And we were talking before we started recording. He still wears slacks and a suit coat and a collared shirt to coach, because this whole I went to a Pacers game this year. I was in Indiana and we had a PBR there. The night before I did some PR. It was the Pacers and the Bucks. And the Bucks had 85 at halftime. Anyway, they call a timeout, and the Pacers NBA teams, if you've never seen, they got like 18 coaches there.
Yeah.
They all go line up on the floor, and every single one of them was in a bright yellow quarter zip pullover. Like, that's okay, but the head coach, I don't know. Dang it, man. What's with did COVID spread worse if people wore suits? Was that the deal? Was there some hidden COVID thing that you can't wear a tie and a suit coat because COVID latches on to the suit? Because that's when it changed. They didn't have crowds, so they all wore little pullovers. Well, then everything got back to normal. Mike Krzyzewski coached his last year in college basketball wearing a freaking pullover. Come on, Krzyzewski.
No,
put a tie on.
Steve Keller, the last few years, that's all he wore was the pullovers.
Yeah. Well, he's at UBT, man.
He was. I mean, but you bring up a great point, and I've talked about this on the show before, is why don't coaches dress like coaches anymore? And they say it's about comfort and the style nowadays, and Under Armour and Nike don't make suits and ties. But yeah, I'm with you. You know, Tom Landry.
Yeah. Well, somewhat Leon Costello at Montana State, he and we've gotten into it. Well, I mean, jokingly, of course. He says they are dressing like coaches now. And he said they're not a lawyer. They're not representing me in court. They're coaching the basketball team. So they should have Zippa. Okay, I get that. I just think the head coach should stand out. Like, now, Danny Sprinkle, it kind of fits him. Like, he's cut. Sprinkle's a good-looking dude. You know, he's got the little scruff going on. Like, it's always the same length. It's just, you know, and thus, the Bobcats are winning. There you go. You know?
Well, I said this yesterday, and I told a few people at the Class A last week, in a couple weeks, when all the season is done, Danny Sprinkle, next head coach at Cal. I don't want him to leave, but I think it's going to happen.
Danny Sprinkle's he could be the next star in college basketball coaching as far as moving up. You got to accept that, you know, a guy like him at Montana State, he loves it, and it has, you know, nothing to do with how he feels about the university, but he's got bright things ahead of him, I think.
Well, they've been saying that for 15 years since he's been an assistant, and he loves California.
Is that what? Really? So there is somebody that loves California.
Well, he spent, yes.
Wow, that's one.
The one person trying to get back into the state. And I don't know anything for sure. That's my feeling that he'll be at Cal. Pac-12. I mean, Tinkle moved to Pac-12.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, good coaches. Yeah, good guys. Tinkle was a great coach, and yeah, they're good dudes. The Grizzlies, I'm looking forward to next year. One of my best friend's son, Tom Reynolds up in Shelby, who retired this year but coached at Shelby High forever. His son, Rhett, was redshirted this year for the Grizzlies, 6'9" kid. So looking forward to seeing him play. I'm not going to I told Rhett, I'm going to cheer for you. I'm not going to wear Grizzly stuff, but I'll cheer for you.
Yep.
That's where I draw the line.
I told my kid that. I said, if you're ever good enough to play over there, that's fine, but I will root for you and hope you go 0-11.
I don't go that far. I respect their program. Their coach I like him too. I don't know. We're lucky. I've said it before on different things, maybe even on this show. We are lucky in Montana. We are so lucky to live in such a rural state, but in Montana, we have two 4-year universities that have amazing programs, the Grizzlies and the Bobcats, whoever you cheer for. Then you got the Frontier Conference, which I think has kind of taken off the last few years with basketball, football. Everybody's kind of improving their stadiums and turf fields. We had that discussion. When does Carroll get turf? You and I talked about that.
They need to.
So I don't know. We're lucky. We're really lucky up here. We have a lot of options. I went to a MSUB women's game a few weeks ago. First one I've ever been to. Alicia Breen from Shoto's coaching, and I was in the airport in Seattle with the team, and her and Kevin Wooden said, "Come to a game. We'll leave you a ticket." And I went. Ended up doing some terrible color commentary with Scott Breen, and it was fun. You know, we're lucky here.
Yes, we are. We are. I brought up you retiring, transitioning. I bring up Steve Keller retiring. Terry Thomas coached his last game for Dillon High on Saturday night. Great basketball game. A lot of heavyweights going out this year in Montana.
All the greats are getting old, man. Hell, I didn't even know Terry Thomas was coaching the basketball team. They're like, Coach Terry Thomas, this will be his last game. Like, Thomas is still alive? Whoa, where's he been? You know? Yeah. That guy, as whenever he's eligible to be in the Coaches Hall of Fame in Montana, just start building the plaque right now for Terry Thomas.
5 state titles in football, 5 in basketball. Yeah.
There you go. That's a guy that creates a culture and knows how to get kids to get everything out of kids. Because coaching is a little bit of X's and O's, but a lot dealing with kids and getting them as much out of them as you can. And Terry Thomas is a savant at it. Just put him in whatever Hall of Fames or whatever Halls of Fame you can and just call it good. Because that guy's a legend in my book.
3 guys I just mentioned, all with Dillon connections. I'm just saying. I mean,
there you go.
I don't know what it means, but
it's Beaverhead County. My dad grew up down there in Beaverhead County. So that's it's genes, man.
By the way, I got to meet your parents over in Darby at the NRA rodeo last August. Fantastic people. I mean, I've known you forever. I've known Will forever, but finally getting to meet the folks, great people. Love them. Because Will's son was doing the announcing at the rodeo. That's the weekend I broke my thumb, I chipped a tooth and scraped my face. And I had two stories. One was they needed an emergency bullfighter. I figured I've been on bulls. I can step in, took a shot, save the cowboy. It's what you do. Cowboy lifesavers. Or I drank some Pendleton, drank some Bud Light, and there was a dog named Pendleton that needed a hug at the end of the night, and I missed the hug and hit the driveway.
Is one of those true?
One of those is true. One of those is true.
Yeah, I'm going with the Pendleton story.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to be careful at rodeos, man. Got to be careful.
I know.
Just, go to the hotel. That's the key.
But you know who I got to meet was Teeter from Yellowstone, which I know you're not a fan of the show, but Michael Landon's daughter, is jacked. You talk about Danny Sprinkle being ripped.
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing on Jen Latta or Landon.
Yeah, I've heard she's really cool. I'm not necessarily a fan, but I'm not a fan. Let's be, a lot of people think because I make fun of Yellowstone that I hate Yellowstone, and I don't. It's just good material.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a documentary, whatever. By the way, real quick, and I know, I'm looking at what time it is. I know I keep you too long, but we cover a lot of topics.
You're the man. This is the Flint Rasmussen hour.
This has been eating at me, and we had a little discussion maybe about it. Can we stop? Hey, everybody listening, guess what? Bozeman has changed. It's growing. The airport is big. The people are a little, there's different people moving in there. We know. Can we stop the worn out narrative that Bozeman's different and then have a social media argument about who really lives in Montana? I mean, I'm sorry. It just through the whole game day experience last fall, it just wore on me. I can say I was disappointed in Montana that our lifestyle's disappearing. We got to take care of each other. Listen, it happened in Missoula 30 years ago, blew up and everybody moved in. So now it's happening in Bozeman. The one thing they have is a lot of flights out of that airport.
Yes, they do.
I'll give them that. It's different. And I have joked, and I might have on here. So a Montana town is only Montana if half your Main Street businesses are boarded up and your enrollment is half what it used to be. Now, does that qualify you to be Montana? Because guess what? Choteau, Montana has changed since I left there too, in a different way. The enrollment is half what it used to be. There's not 3 grocery stores. You can't find a place to buy clothes. So is it not Montana anymore either? Does hardship make it Montana? When I go to Bozeman, I go down Main Street and see a thriving, energy-filled, positive Main Street. And I think that's good for Montana. Whatever it is, there's different ways of Montana. Bozeman is one, Choteau is one, Billings is one, Miles City is a way. All different, but still Montana.
Yep.
It's just getting to the point, and it's these Californians. People are moving there from everywhere.
Yeah.
And I always see real Montanans hate Bozeman. I got 2 of them that spent all their childhood in Choteau on horses on a rodeo team. And those 2 girls have thrived in Bozeman with all the opportunities, the culture, the restaurants. My girls have done wonderful there.
Yep.
And have taken advantage of one of the best universities. And so anyway, that's my soapbox for today.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I was there a couple years ago when my daughter graduated from MSU, and we were at a restaurant downtown. I can't remember the name, and it's probably good, but it was a barbecue joint. But I'm looking out the window in May, and I see these people walking down the street, and I'm like, Bozeman is what happens if Aspen and Missoula have a baby. Rich hippies.
I drove down Main Street a few weeks ago, and on the corner, it was a beautiful sunny day after a big cold snap. On the Main Street downtown, is a guy and a gal, young. They have their helmets with their goggles on their helmets with their skis, and they're hitchhiking. They're wanting to ride to go ski. I hate to say it. Yeah, that's Bozeman, but what a great, I wanted to take a picture because that is kind of Montana.
That is
go ski.
That is old school Bozeman. I mean, that was before the bus used to pick you up at the gas station there on the way up to Bridger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, I love it. No, Bozeman is, I mean, I grew up there, graduated there. It has changed. And I still love Bozeman. You can't afford to live there unless you're a PBR entertainer. But to go back to what you said earlier, with your paychecks, but Bozeman is great. I was there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the stay day, and I stayed at the Grand Tree. That's where the MHSA put us up. And driving down 7th, yeah, things are changed, but there's new bars, there's new restaurants, there's there's actually a section of food trucks in Bozeman. Yeah. And then you turn on to Main, you turn on 11th, 11th hasn't changed until you get to the roundabout at MSU, but 11th is still 11th. Joe's Parkway is still there. Columbo's Pizza, the best pizza, it's still there.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's there, the people on social media, you got to be careful in using those, what kind of words are everyone, nobody, they're real definitive words, absolute words.
Yep.
Is people say, no real Montanans even live in Bozeman anymore. Yeah, there's generational ranchers still there.
Yes.
There's people that have been there all the way through. I mean, so be careful about nobody, everybody,
The all-inclusiveness.
Right.
Inclusive.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add? So where do you head off? Where do you go this weekend? Oh, New Orleans.
New Orleans this weekend, but going back to why I kind of came on in the first place. Billings is coming up here in a month, exactly a month. And Billings is always a little overwhelming because a lot of things going on around me and people I know, and it's hard to keep up with all of it, and even more this year, I'm sure. But you asked earlier why I announced it at the beginning of the season, and it is just that. I want places like Billings to know I've performed in Billings since the late 80s at the NRA finals with my dad announcing and my mom timing, and so I've performed in that arena for a very long time, and I've always got good material out of Montana, and it's the only place I've ever lived. I travel every weekend somewhere in this country, and I'm always from Montana.
Yep.
And now people, of course, want to know all about it. But so, with Billings coming up, and I can tell you, I'm doing some smaller stuff, finishing my summer, Big Sky, Livingston, some of those. But I think Billings with our main tour has been just killing it, and would love everybody to come out because I really do appreciate what Montana's done for me as well. And so it means a lot, for everybody to come.
What's your ticket request for Billings?
I've put out the vibe years ago that I can't get anybody tickets.
Unless you're in Kansas City.
I've avoided it. However, I have a good friend from Townsend that I told him on Friday I'd get him a bunch of tickets. And supposedly I got a pretty big group of my old Haver cronies maybe coming on Sunday. So I'm going to request some tickets for those groups. Otherwise, no tickets available here.
Media pass. But I want to come to your very last performance. I don't want this to be like, hey, I saw Aerosmith 2 years ago on their last performance, and now here they are again performing.
I'm getting that a lot, actually. Hey, now you're not completely done. Like, you're going to make some cameo? You're going to just pick and choose a few? Well, I've gotten calls from rodeos. Hey, now that you're going to be away from PBR, you can come and do our rodeo. Oh, yeah, a 10-day rodeo would be way better on my knees than, that isn't, I don't foresee that. I've always said, a lot of people said you need to transition out where somebody else does half of them. And they, like I said, they do have a plan. There's a couple younger guys they're going to bring in, but I just don't want to be that guy. When I'm done, I want to be done, and
So is Livingston and then Big Sky? Is Big Sky it?
No, I see. I'm not supposed to say for PBR, but I'm actually the very last place will be Cheyenne in July.
Okay.
So.
And you said it earlier. Nobody listens to the show, so.
Well, yeah, actually, and it just has to do with really we're selling it at PBR World Finals in Fort Worth in May.
Okay.
That's kind of the finale because that's the end of our main tour.
Right.
So yeah.
We'll see you at the spring rodeo next year.
Shut up. Hey, I had a lady say the other day in the airport, caught me and said, "Oh, you're quitting." But man, wouldn't it be fun now to just go around and work at like these little rodeos in Montana, like Big Timber? I'm like, I worked my ass off to not have to go to those rodeos.
You don't want to go back to Darby?
Yeah, I don't know that people understand. Like, I'm not just going to other towns. With all due respect, I'm not just going to other towns and it's all the same. I mean, no, I'm good. Okay. Yeah,
you're not going to take over for Danger Dave at Darby.
Yeah. Watch, I'll show up in Darby or some. Yeah, no, that's not the plan as of now.
All
How's
right.
that?
So I'm going to miss your very last performance, but that yeah, I'll try to make it to Billings. I think I've got Joe Nichols concert that weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to be in Helena.
I know Joe.
I do too. Joe's a great dude. I had him on my show last year too. I met him in 1997 in Medford, Oregon.
Oh, right. You told me that.
Long hair. Yeah. And Pam Tillis thought he worked at the radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did tell me that.
Yep. Because Mindy McCready was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that story.
Yes. Loved me some Mindy.
By the way, the PBR at Fort Worth is having a midweek between the 2 weekends, a 30th anniversary party, Dirty 30 party it's called, and doing some stuff for me. And it's hosted by Larry the Cable Guy and Chris Jansen and Ryan Bingham are playing. It's in Village. Yeah.
Larry the Cable Guy's been on this show too.
Yeah, Larry, Dan, Larry, he's a good dude.
By the way, before I do let you go, you have the record for the most appearances, I think, on this show, non-coach related. Because I talk to coaches, like football coaches, every week. But you have the most unofficial appearances by someone other than a coach.
Do I get a plaque or something?
I'll get you a plaque when you show up to golf with me this summer or next summer and bring me the bottle of Pendleton that Shelby promised me when she was working for Pendleton.
Ooh, okay. I got a few around.
I'm sure.
Is that golf tournament some kind of fundraiser for UBT? I just wanted to say that one more time.
No.
Go Argos.
I will. Are you going to be around the end of June? Football Hall of Fame golf tournament.
Hit and miss there. I'm hit and miss.
June 24th, I think.
Are they inducting me or
no?
Damn it.
You got to have connection to the pros and yeah.
How about we do got to go. Our man Alex Singleton with the 3-year, $18 million contract. Good for him.
Great for him. And a great dude, takes care of his family, loves, he's a bobcat.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Hey, congratulations on the transition. I hope it works well for you and everything turns out all right. See, I still talk transition like news people talk transition these days.
Yeah, I'm not gender transitioning. Just job.
It's going to be fun to hear you on the air. Yeah, it's another thing. You're taking rodeos away from me now because you're going to be doing all sorts of stuff. God. You're trying to knock me out of business. My unofficial most appearance guy, and I've still never been on your show.
It's a cutthroat business, man.
It is. Hey, best of luck. Congratulations. Super happy. Say hi to Katie and the girls. And hopefully we'll see you in Billings, and we'll get you back on after you transition.
I will, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That is Flint Rasmussen. Thank you, buddy. Oh, he's always so much fun to chat with. Flint Rasmussen on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. And when we have Flint on, there's some PBR stuff, but it's just great to get all the other stuff that he is on his mind. And he's got his own show, according to Flint. You can check it out online. It's fantastic. And I've said it time and time again on the show. Love that family. And appreciate Flint taking time out of his day, as always, to join us here on the show. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, get set to wrap things up, and update you on the Montana Gatorade Player of the Year. Also, is Montana Tech alive at the NAI tournament? We'll tell you next. Hang on.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
I'm Brent Vegan, head football coach at Montana State. And this year at the Montana Pro Football Hall of Fame, we're doing more than just celebrating our very best. On Saturday, June 24th at the Billings Hotel and Convention Center, there will be a Speak Up Student-Athlete Mental Health Symposium from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Prominent figures throughout Montana, such as Jim O'Day and Tommy Millott, will offer discussion and collaboration on how to better the mental health of our student-athletes. After 3 Hall of Famers spoke up about their own mental health last year, it became apparent that we prioritize this topic at the Montana Pro Football Hall of Fame. Please join us on Saturday, June 24th, and for more information, go to the website mtfootballhof.com.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting, as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Ah, summer. A time to work in the yard and get all those projects that you've been thinking about all winter done. And when you've had enough, go to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar to cool off, relax, laugh a little or a lot, your choice, have a drink and play your favorite games. There's plenty of new games and your old favorites. Now, if you don't want to work hard and the relaxing part sounds the best to you, then just head over to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar on Dredge behind Jade Restaurant. Happy summer, everyone.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Final segment brought to you by Bowser's Lucky Dog Casino on Dredge in Helena. Hot games, warm staff, cold drinks, drink and gamble responsibly. Well, yesterday Carroll season came to an end with a 10-point loss at the NAIA National Tournament in Sioux City, Iowa, and today the Montana Tech men's season ends. The 4-seed falling to 7-seed Ottawa, Arizona, 76-58. So only one team left at the NAIA National Tournaments Championships, and that is the Western women, who play tonight at 7 Mountain Time. Dougie Peoples, your Gatorade Boys Basketball Player of the Year. It was announced today. First Maroon to win it. 6'5" senior had the Maroons winning third last week at the State A. Averaged 25 points, 6 boards, 2.5 assists. And broke the Butte City record for single season points, over 1,400. He also owns the game record for Butte Central, 44. And, of course, everybody remembers his last-second shot to win a state championship a year ago. So Dougie Peoples winning Gatorade Player of the Year. Congratulations. Let's see here. I think that's about it. It is Wednesday, March 15th, 2023. It is National Everything You Think Is Wrong Day, or called Marriage. Speaking of getting a text from the wife, did you get fruit today? No, I forgot. I did empty the dishwasher and feed the dogs. And I also did the blowing of the snow off the driveway and sidewalk. So I did that. Anyway, on this day in 1869, with 10 salaried players, Cincinnati Red Stockings become baseball's first professional team. 1912, Cy Young retired from baseball with an overall record of 511 wins, 315 losses. Nobody will ever reach those numbers again. 1962, Wilt Chamberlain, the first to score 4,000 in an NBA season, 4,000 points. And 1997, Pittsburgh Penguins' Joe Mullen, the first American to score 500 NHL goals. Happy birthday, Kirk Scrafford, born on this date in 1967 in Billings. Played 9 years in the pros with the Bengals, the Broncos, and the 49ers. Brett Michaels, born on this date in 1963, Poison. And on this date, 1958, Color, KULR, Television Channel 8 in Billings began broadcasting. Happy birthday to Color 8.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Best Cajun this side of New Orleans. I know Rasmussen's going down in New Orleans. He's going to get some good Cajun. But if you want good Cajun, Cafe Zydeco in Helena. And love their support. They just recently teamed up with Impact Montana to help out veterans and military. They support law enforcement, our first responders, everybody that does it for us. We support them. And Cafe Zydeco on that list. Thanks to Flint Rasmussen for joining us today. Montana Tech coach Adam Hyatt yesterday, tough loss today, losing to Ottawa of Arizona. That GSAC is really good. Saw him in Phoenix at the Cactus Classic. They went like 14-3 against the Frontier schools. That GSAC is legit. Good luck to Lindsay Woolley and the Montana Western women tonight at 7. Taking on defending champ Thomas More. That's a really good basketball team, too. Saw them earlier this year. Well, I guess it was last year, but this season. We'll do it again tomorrow. Hope you join us. Thank you to all of our fantastic sponsors. Thank you to you, our fans. 50 states, 54 countries. Tune in all the time to the Jason Walker Show. Couldn't do it without you. Go to jasonwalkershow.com if you missed anything. And we'll see you back here tomorrow.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.